Hello out there, and welcome back to everything you need to know about Mage Knight board game. We are on part 26. We're looking at cooperative city assault. I was going to set these pieces up, but I looked and they're already there. These guys are anxious to assault this city. It is Tovok Wormstalker's turn, and he has decided that he cannot assault the White City by itself. The White City, by the way, is level 7. Level 7 means that it is being guarded by 2 keep garrisons and 2 city garrisons. All of their armor is increased by 1. So Tovok has decided to enlist some help. So he's going to ask Arithia, Blood Cultist, and Narawas, Greatest of the Elf Lords, to help him. Looking over here, we can see that all 3 have their round order tokens face up. If both of them agree to help Tovok, they're going to turn their round order token face down. That means when it's time for their turn, they're simply going to skip their turn and just flip the round order token face up, and that's all they'll do. So they're forfeiting their turn to help Tovok to assault this city. The rulebook says the only people Tovok can ask to help are considered to be suitable heroes. Suitable heroes are defined as heroes who have washed their face and are wearing clean clothes before the assault. No, that's not what they are. Suitable heroes are defined as being close enough to the city that they can move there. So their only movement is going to be to spend the 2 movement to enter the city, and that's it. Tovok is 1 space away, so if he has move 2, he can enter the city, which means he'll move to this card here. We'll put his figure right here, and we'll lower his reputation by 1. Arithia can spend move 2, and she can move into the city, so we'll take her off that forest space, and we'll put her on this card as well. She spends 2 points of movement, and she lowers her reputation by 1. Well, Narawas, that's going to be a problem. He's all the way at this forest, and there's 3 spaces between there. How's he supposed to get there? Well, Narawas has this spell called Underground Attack. He also has a green crystal, because Narawas has a lot of green crystals, and white. He also has a black mana token. Okay? Underground Attack is going to allow him to move 3 revealed spaces. He lands on a fortified site, and he assaults it. Very good. So he can go ahead and this turn move there by playing that spell and spending the necessary mana. Okay, so now all 3 of them are able to assault the city. They all agree, and Arithia and Tovok flip their round order token face down. So let's look at what they're going to do. They're going to split these 4 enemies up between them. And because it was nighttime, visibility wasn't so good. We couldn't see who these opponents were exactly. However, now that they're assaulting, we know who they are. Also, notice that Arithia, when she moves, she's going to provoke this swamp dragon, because this city is considered to be an adjacent space to the swamp dragon, and her movement provokes it. So she will be fighting the swamp dragon. Tovok's aware of that, so he's going to divide these enemies up evenly between him, Narawas, and Arithia, but ensure that she has a lighter load because she's facing the swamp dragon. So what they're going to do, without looking at these, they just blindly assign, and they're going to let her pick 1. Okay, so she is going to get these guys. Arithia has to fight an Amatep Freezer, which has an armor of 8, because +1, has fire resistance. It has a paralyzing ice attack of 3 with swiftness. And she has to fight a swamp dragon, who has an armor of 9. Notice that the swamp dragon does not benefit from the city's armor. He's not in the city getting his armor enhanced. He's outside the gates attacking from behind. He has a poisonous attack of 5 with swiftness. That's what Arithia is going to have to deal with. Tovok offers to take on 2 opponents, and Narawas takes on 1. Tovok gets Amatep Gunners, and he gets Udum Crossbowmen. The Crossbowmen have an armor of 5. They have a swift attack of 4. The Gunners have an armor of 7 with ice resistance, and they have a brutal fire attack of 6. Narawas has to deal with Udum Crossbowmen, which have an armor of 4 and a swift attack of 4. He really lucked out. Okay, so the combat resolves, and Tovok is unable to dispatch of the gunners, so they're still there. He does, however, defeat the crossbowman. So he gets 1 shield token on this card. And then it becomes Orithia's turn. She's able to defeat the freezers, but she doesn't have enough attack left over to take on the swamp dragons. And that's okay. Nothing happens. The swamp dragons just go back to their space, and she got wounded, and that's fine. So she is going to put 1 token on the city. Next, Tovok is able to get rid of the crossbowman. So he adds 1 token to the city. On somebody's next turn, they can get rid of the gunners, and whoever does it will have a 2nd token on here, which makes them the city leader. And there are certain benefits for being the city leader. If not, then everybody's tied. Okay? In the event of a tie, let's say that this wasn't here and we finished and everybody had 1 shield token on the city, Tovok would be the leader because his shield is first. So this card would be placed in front of him. Also remember that at this point, this city is considered to be a local site, a place people can just make friendly visits to. When they visit, they can pay 2 influence to add an elite unit to the unit offer. They can also recruit any unit in the unit offer in the White City. Okay, and we're going to go over later what happens when you're the city leader. Usually the city leader gets 7 points of fame. For each city he's the leader of. Everybody that has a shield on the city card but is not a leader gets 4 points of fame, and there's certain benefits from that. But that's how that works, basically. They all attack the city together. They divide their tokens based on how many there are. They decide who's going to attack what, and then they get the fame for that. They sustain any wounds for it. They're only responsible for their own units. And if they had a skill or an ability that said all enemies lose resistances, all enemies lose fortification, all enemies lose armor, whatever, that only applies to their enemies. They go through combat in order. They can take a mana die from the source, but that mana die does not go back until the end of the assault. So that's how cooperative city assaults work. And with that information, you're now ready to play any of the scenarios in Mage Knight board game. The next video, I'm going to go through all of the different scenarios to give you an idea of what you could potentially play. So, we're almost done with the rulebook. This is part 26, and I hope you've enjoyed everything you need to know about Mage Knight board game. Until next time, GLHF. Good luck, have fun.